Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in a game called Anime Apex. You know, this game right over here, I made a video on it a little over a month ago. And just in case you guys didn't watch that video, some highlights about this game is that it is very, very different. Like, literally. You guys might think that you've played this type of game before, but no. Although it has similar base mechanics, the game works very, very differently than what you would think. So yeah, without further ado, let's actually, instead of just showcasing the game, go noob to pro. And of course, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe with notifications on. And also, apart from of course joining my Discord server, linked in the description, also feel free to go ahead and use my creator code up on screen. Quite literally, it will directly help me out. So if you decide to spend some Robux, up to you, make sure to use the code. I'd really appreciate it. Alright, so first things first, let's have a look over here because this Noob to Pro is going to be very different. For example, let's just say this is going to be kind of like a pay-to-win video. As you guys can see, we have every single one of the game passes, including the starter bundle. In fact, if we just head on over to our units, yeah, as you guys can see, the starter unit compared to my previous team is a huge buff. So let's get that bad boy on my team. And as well, let's upgrade some of our equipment. In fact, we have this King's Crown, which gives us one whole extra equip. Yeah, okay, let's just equip best. Awesome, now we have 10 equips. But yeah, apart from that though, what other things did I get from like all of the, I guess, pay to win related stuff? Oh yeah, we got a bunch of gems. So let's see, what should I spend all of these gems on? You know, should I go all in on like the weapon crates, or should I go all in on the unit crates? Seems like the weapon and unit crates are the same in each world, so I don't think it would really matter. Let me just have one like double look, okay? So over here are all the pities. 100 rows for a guaranteed legendary, and guaranteed mythic is 25 rows. By the way, guys, keep in mind, legendary is better than mythic in this game. Don't be like me and confuse lots of that stuff. But yeah, let's have a look at the index over here. So if we were to go ahead and get ourselves the legendary, does it tell us how much damage it does? No, but if it's as strong as the unit, you know, I believe we got this from the starter bundle. So yeah, if they are like the same strengths in that sense, then yeah, highly recommend. I'm pretty sure I did get this unit from the starter bundle, so in that case, it might be worth to go ahead and hatch a few more of these, but I am 99% sure the state of my weapons is very mid. Yeah, it's only 15 damage. Let's go ahead and let's solve that. So let's just auto-delete some of these things and let's, I guess, buy like, I don't know, 3,000 gems worth. Literally, we can spend so much of these. So we have Weather Staff, then we have Weather Staff again, okay, but at least it's 35 damage. Now, thankfully, there is a fast open version that I can go ahead and hopefully switch on, please. Okay, yes, thank you. So hopefully this shouldn't take as long as, you know, it might normally take. Since, you know, we do have a lot of gems to go through, so I can't be sitting here all day. Now, did I get anything good? No, I don't believe I did. So let's try again and let's see if we can go ahead and get ourselves at least the epic, yep, the Supreme Saber. Awesome. Ooh, okay, we just got ourselves the legendary. Oh, 148 damage and all of those extra bonus buffs as well. Yeah, that is absolutely mad. Can we go ahead and enchant these? I've completely forgotten if we can. Yeah, here we go. In world number 2, there is actually a weapon enchant machine. So let's see. Can we go ahead and get ourselves maybe a secret enchantment or a legendary enchantment? Yeah, let's get this show started. So range 2. Drain 4. Ooh. Okay, I think we can do better than that. Come on. Inquisitive. Okay. Increases XP to holder by 15%. I think I'm gonna keep that actually. Once again, in case you guys already forgot, this game is different. So XP is actually buffing basically everything. So probably it would actually be really handy to have that on. Now, with all of that being said, I think we are relatively done when it comes to like, you know, preparing, I guess, for battle. Alright, so can we go ahead and claim some quests? Not at this very moment, but we are close to completing some of them. Then from there, dungeons are coming soon. Not entirely sure if that's going to be coming out when, you know, the game drops. Then over here we have the blacksmith, where I am not sure if we need any of this. Do we really need this stuff? I mean, technically we can. I mean, it would give us a slightly like a bonus when it comes to, you know, damage-wise. So yeah, okay, let's make a few of these because, you know, why not? And let's go ahead and equip them. But yeah, enough yip yap though. Let's see. In order to unlock world number 3, which is going to be the 3rd world out of 4 in this case, we need to go ahead and get ourselves 50 million coins, and I think that's actually relatively it. And then we'll unlock merge equipment, enchantment extractor, and unit evolutions. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and let's start farming, I guess, this dragon emperor. Now, does he do a lot of damage? Yes, he does, but thankfully we kind of do a lot of damage back. Actually, no, never mind. We are completely weak at the moment. 100k compared to 5 billion. Yeah, we have some training to do. What about these units? How much HP do they have? Maybe I can take these guys out. I can theoretically, but I don't think it's worth farming those guys. So once again, we need to head on back to like one of the really weak guys, and we need to start AFK farming those actually. Oh yeah, I completely forgot for a second. In this game, you can actually go ahead and gain energy. Can't believe I forgot one of the base mechanics, but it's fine. If I'm not mistaken, there is actually a rank up system in world number 1. So let's quickly actually head on over there and let's see if we can actually go ahead and maybe ascend once or twice. So then that way we can get strong. So we're going to be needing 1 million. Okay, 1 million doesn't sound that bad, especially since we can go ahead and increase that number, I guess, you know, of energy per click with better units. So let's just auto delete some of these. You know, we only want basically mythical and legendaries and above, so let's go for this. Let's use up all of our gems, and I'll catch you guys once we hopefully have something very nice to showcase. Alright, there we go. We are officially broke, but I believe, yeah, we did manage to get quite a lot of these legendaries. Now, probably, I know they look mid at the moment, you know, only 36 damage, but do keep in mind, we can give them good swords, and also we can level them up. So let's go ahead, let's auto equip them and let the AFK farming, I guess, start preferably on maybe these enemies. No, I one-shot them. That isn't exactly a good thing. Let's see the pirate islands. What about these guys? Okay, I am somewhat one-shotting them. Obviously, we can maybe farm on some little bit harder stuff. But hey, I guess for the time being, we can put on auto train and as well auto attack, and yeah. Let's, I guess, just AFK here, you know, farming, leveling up, all of that good stuff. And hopefully by next time that you guys see me, we will be much stronger. So, yeah, see you guys in, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, an hour. I guess we'll find out. Alright, first little milestone on our little grinding session. It seems like we have managed to get 1 million power, which means that we can go ahead and ascend and obviously get some nice bonuses. So let's see, we're going to be getting 225% extra damage from 150%. So let's just ascend. Awesome. Now the next milestone is going to be 25 million. Okay, that's going to be quite a grind, but don't worry, I don't think things are going to be taking too long. But anyways, let's get back to AFKing. Okay, everybody, after a long time of grinding later, as you guys can see, we have more than enough in order to buy World 3. Now, whilst I was grinding, I did actually discover a few things that would help me get stronger. Like, for example, remember when I said grinding in World 1 is not worth it? Well, yeah, I lied. Turns out, one of the best ways in order to get like materials and stuff, you know, for example, essence of luck, copper, stone, iron, you get the idea. Well, the best way to grind them is actually enemies that you can one-shot. Hence why grinding in World 1 is actually really good. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, SMG, okay, you want me to grind materials. What are materials used for? Well, turns out these short swords over here, not only do they increase your damage, but they also increase your energy. For example, have a look over here. 970 per click, you know, pretty straightforward stuff. If I go ahead and quickly unequip all of these, as you guys can see, I'm now down to 868. So what does that mean? It means that getting these short swords is actually really worth it. So let's go ahead and, let's continue crafting them. Now, I did save up a bunch of stones, a bunch of copper. Not entirely sure what's the best method to farm these Essence of Powers. In fact, coincidentally, I think out of all the uncommon materials, it's actually one of the least that I have of, but it's fine. Let's just go ahead and craft 2 of these. No problem. Can I make any of these stuff? No, I'm going to be needing a bunch more coins. Okay, that's completely fine. I'm sure we'll be able to get stronger in this new world. Plus as well, the second charm and extractors, unit evolutions, merge equipment. Yeah, let's just teleport on through. So over here, let's see, what can we do? So we can upgrade, okay, the skill tree. Okay, nothing different that we haven't seen already. We can craft swords like the emerald sword and the diamond sword. We can also open up weapons, and these weapons are actually really OP. Okay, wow. Okay, yeah, so maybe I was wrong about that as well. Each world does actually give you some sort of boost when it comes to base damage of weapons. That is actually good to know. So let's go ahead and let's open up. I probably can't open up too many of these, but yeah, let's get a few uncommons, commons, rares maybe if we're lucky enough. And let's just go ahead and apply them. By the way, epic. Let's quickly apply them to my unit, so then that way we can get even stronger. So let's select this bad boy over here. We just need to go ahead and click the show stats. So let's change one of these guys' weapons to the Supreme Star. Where is my legendary Master Swordsman? Here he is. Let's change his weapon to something really OP. Let's change it to the Santaru. That's why he has an extra 100 damage. Then from there, let's go ahead and change this weapon to one of these. Yeah, okay, there's actually a simpler way to do this. If you click this button over here, you can actually go ahead and directly select them, which is, definitely a lifesaver. But yeah, after changing the majority of the weapons for the time being, and as well equipping my new best weapon, look at my energy per click now, 2.3k, and I believe it was around 900 before, so we've basically doubled our energy gain from like 5 minutes of just changing stuff. Plus as well, keep in mind, by the way, this world probably has who knows what we can use in order to get stronger. Evolve units. Okay, we can't evolve anything because if I remember correctly, we do need actually secret units. So I guess for the time being, we'll just leave that there. We have the merge equipment over here. This is really good. What do we need in order to merge? So we need 3 of the same type, and it will turn basically 1 into a 10%, so kind of like a double multiplier. Good to know. Let's, I guess, go ahead and craft one of these. I don't think it's going to really be hurting us that much. Now, if we just go ahead and equip it, right, with, I guess, the rest of this stuff, my energy is now at 2.4k. Awesome. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be needing it for the majority of these enemies. Yeah, have a look at that. Some of these have billions of HP, but they give millions of coins. Yeah, when we are able to save up a bunch of coins, we'll be able to make so much equipment, which is going to be helping us out so much. But apart from that though, we might as well go ahead and put on the auto fight. And once again, the majority of this video is probably going to be AFK grinding, because when it comes to coins grinding, you do really need to AFK the strongest enemies that you can fight. Then when it comes to equipment grinding, the materials and stuff, then that's where the active grinding comes in. So if I were you guys, get a balance of both of them. When you're grinding materials, active grind in the easiest worlds that you can one-shot. Actually, no, not the easiest, the strongest world that you can one-shot. For example, if you can one-shot the enemies in the Pirate Islands, grind in the Pirate Islands. If you can one-shot the enemies only in the hidden Shinobi village, then active farm there. But yeah, if you want to, you can also AFK grind there. Obviously, it will be much slower, but at this very moment, in order so then that way I can craft the equipment that gives me more HP, I need, if I'm not mistaken, like 35 million or 45 million. Plus as well, I'm going to be needing probably like hundreds of millions in order to unlock the next area, which is going to be all the way back here. Yeah, we need to get 2 billion, but we will get an equipment melter. And here is the boss, who seems to be having a stroke at the moment. How much HP does he have? 1 trillion. Okay, forget that guy. We stand no chance. Okay, here's something that could potentially help us out, to solve that HP problem. The traits. Now, I did just go ahead and open up 10 of these, costing 50 of the arcane stars. And let's see what we managed to get, because I have no clue what we got. Okay, this is actually relatively decent. A strength 4, strength 3. Wait, no. This is onslaught. This gives attack speed. Good to know. Then also we have intellect 3. Affluence, which is going to be increasing loot drop luck, and then more attack speed, more XP, more attack speed. You get the idea. So let's go ahead and let's just start equipping these, and who knows, maybe they might help us out a little bit. So let's put the strength 1 on obviously our strongest unit at the moment. There we go. Then when it comes to the loot drop luck, let's put it on maybe this legendary and this legendary, so then that way it's not like on the worst units that might get immediately replaced, so it will be kind of remaining on our team for a long period. So let's do all of that. When it comes to these, not particularly interested in using them at the moment, so I think I'm going to save them. However, we aren't done just yet, since we can go ahead and actually reroll stats. So let's see if we can go ahead and get maybe like an S rank stat. So B, C, B again, C. Okay, can we at least see an A? All right, there we go. That is our first A acquired. However, am I really happy with this setup? No, not really. I think I'll just reroll all. Yeah, let's just reroll all. B's. Okay, come on. Let's at least maybe get like an S. Okay, A on damage. I think I will keep that. And I think I'll start, you know, rerolling on specific stats. So let's get a, okay, C, B, B. Okay, let's try and get B on everything. Just like so. Then from there, let's swap on over to a different unit. Maybe we'll go for this Master Swordsman, because, you know, why not? Let's try and get a B on this, what do you call this? I think this is like a stun time. Yep, there we go. Some B's and A's once again. And let's do one more unit. I don't want to use all of my orbs of potentials just yet. You know, just in case maybe I get like a secret unit by the end of this video and I want to go ahead and upgrade him. So let's get an A, just like so, on damage as well, which is really, really perfect. And let's get that nice B's. Awesome. Seems like luck is somewhat on our side. And oh yeah, for those of you wondering, this is like the main lobby of the game, and in order to access it, you just have to go on over to the teleport and just literally click any of these buttons, and it will kind of teleport you on here to where everything's located. Also, I want to show you guys this because it's absolutely broken. World 4 special weapon crate. Have a look at the damages. Legendary, 2000 damage. Yeah, it's so high that I'm beginning to stutter right now. The mythical, 1150. Hold on, let's have a look at the commons. You know, the one that you're basically guaranteed to get. 306 damage. Literally on par with this mythical perfect shot. And even the small stats are slightly better too. Yeah, when we unlock World 4, hopefully we'll have some gems to play around with and we can get one of these awesome weapons. Now, I don't think there's really anything else that I can do at this very moment. So what does that mean? It means it's time to go back to AFK grinding, and not just a little bit, quite a lot of it. So let's just claim all of these achievements. Let's do all of these daily spins, so then that way maybe we get some potions or something. Yeah, that seems really good. Let's just pop on 2 of these and let's go ahead and let's AFK a bunch of money in the city, and then from there maybe I will AFK overnight a bunch of materials. Let's see how strong I am able to get once I see you guys. And I don't know, maybe I'll cut back for some like milestones just like I did before, or maybe I'll cut back at the very end of the grinding and then we do everything all at once. Let's see what I decide to do. I'll see you guys whenever the next time it's going to be. And alright, after, listen, let's just say a long time passed, we are now back to showcase what we have done. Now, I do need to point out that whilst I was grinding, there were actually quite a lot of like development changes and all of that kind of stuff. For example, there is actually no longer a 4th world, at least not in the early access. But hey, just so then you guys don't complain and like say I took the easy way out or something like that. That world did cost 2 billion to unlock and I have 2.5 billion. So if it was still in the game, I would have unlocked it. So yeah, to all of the haters down in the comments, don't make any excuses. I still went pro. But hold on just a moment, we aren't actually pro just yet, since the majority of my grinding was actually spent getting a bunch of materials. So what does that mean? It means that we can go ahead and use those materials. So let's head on over to, I believe it is the blacksmith. So he should be, yes, right over here, and hopefully we can make some good stuff. So first of all, let's make some of this, the health kits, because the health kits, they give you a lot of HP, and one of my main concerns when I'm grinding is that I am constantly, you know, dying and like waiting like 10 seconds to revive. So getting some of these is actually going to be really important. So let's get a few of those, and as well, hopefully without dying, let's go ahead and craft ourselves a bunch of these short swords. Now, how many am I going to be crafting? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I could theoretically craft like 100 of them. And then obviously, once we go ahead and start combining them, then they're going to start doing a lot of damage. So like 10%, 15%, yeah, okay. If we're able to get maybe like a full team of 20%, that would be really nice to have. Let's stop crafting there for the time being. You know, I don't want to use all of my materials just in case if maybe, I don't know, I end up unlocking some kind of new recipe. So let's teleport on over to the merge equipment and let's, I guess, start speedrunning all of the, you know, merging. There we go. That's going to be, in my opinion, enough merging for the time being, because if I were to merge it again, I don't think I would get the proper value. So let's see, right now I get 2.3k of, you know, the damage, energy, whatever you want to call it, every single swing. And then if I go ahead and equip all of this new equipment, just like so, obviously including, you know, rare, and as well I guess we can fill up with commons and maybe some health kits, you know, why not? And then if we go ahead and swing once, we are getting 3.2k, which is almost, or it should be over 50% extra damage. Yeah, you do love to see that, especially since probably if I were to continue AFKing and maybe this time use some like loot luck kind of equipment, I'd probably be able to easily save up a bunch more of the, you know, materials in order to make the damage equipment, the luck equipment, the health equipment. You kind of get the idea. Now, to end off the video, we might as well go ahead and claim all of the free rewards that I guess we've earned over the past who knows how long that we've been grinding. Plus as well, I don't know, maybe completing some achievements. I guess it's gonna depend on what exactly we unlock. So yeah, let's I guess claim all of these free quests, because you know, it's literally free coins and free gems, which then I can use maybe in some very near in the future video. Then from there we have the skill tree points, which if I'm not mistaken, I can probably, yeah, go ahead and upgrade quite a lot of this stuff to like a very high level. So let's see, 1 unit equip, that's actually really good. We need 3 more skill points for this, and okay, if we get 5 skill points, we can get some abilities as well. So yeah, that will definitely come in handy, but I guess for the time being, since I only have 1 skill point, I'll just put it into fighter 2. Why not? But yeah, apart from that, if I'm not mistaken, we also have some, yeah, leveling rewards to collect. Now, I have no clue what these are going to give, so let's just claim all of them and let's see what on earth this game has to offer. So, coins, gems, potions, more coins, more gems, more potions. Okay, I think it's just gonna repeat that over and over. Let's go through until we get something different. Okay, arcane star. Come on, can I maybe see something like super rare? Okay, here we go, orb of potential. We love to see that. Golden stars, gems, small unit capsules. Okay, I think that's relatively it when it comes to unique stuff. Yeah. And oh, okay, if we get to level 30, we will get a shiny unit token, which will basically turn whichever units that you want into a shiny. So if I get a secret, I can actually get a shiny secret. So yeah, you know what that means? Next video, if we are lucky enough to get a secret, that is going to mean some insane progression. But anyways, apart from that though, I think this is where I'm going to be leaving off today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Once again, we have done another Noob to Pro in another game, and in my opinion, I do actually enjoy this game. Like, I can't lie, at the very beginning of this Noob to Pro, you know, especially since it's been a month since I've last played this game, I really was confused. You know, there were a lot of aspects that, you know, I did have to learn along the way. But hey, what can I say after this whole video? I can say that I pretty much understand everything about this game, or at least most of the important stuff. And honestly, I am really curious to see if I can master it even more, since, you know, there's still a lot to do, especially when it comes to like equipment, traits, mounts. You get the idea. Our journey on this game, despite becoming pro, is still far along before we can go ahead and say that we are, you know, maxed. But yeah, apart from that though, make sure to like and subscribe with notifications on, and hey, don't forget, feel free to use my code. Completely free, and it will really support out the channel if you go ahead and use it, especially when you're buying Robux related stuff, you know, like the limited bundles. But hey, even if you decide to not use my code for whatever reason, or someone else's code, don't worry, I'm not gonna take it personal. Just as long as you guys know that it does exist, so then you don't say, oh, SMG, that you never told me that you had the code. I did, okay? Feel free to use it, like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.